await no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, and alongside me, as always, my co-host, Kyle. Kyle, how you doing?
A little tired. Been teaching kindergarten today. I'll be teaching kindergarten the rest of the week. So little kids are draining all the energy out of me, but it's good. I'm happy to be here like always.
You give them like the ruler if they disobey?
No, I will be banned from every school in the country if I do that.
What's the problem with this country, raising these kids?
Oh, no, stop.
And
Joe,
yes.
We are a week away from E3. This Saturday starts it all.
Oh,
I can't... Actually, even beforehand, we'll get into that later,
yeah.
But oh my god, I'm so excited. I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Dude, I have so many things that I'm about to announce that one part I'm gonna try and attempt to do, the other part I'm gonna be a part of something. It's gonna be crazy. But before we get into that, because it is E3, I'm so excited. Mm-hmm. So excited. I want to thank all of our patrons over at patreon.com/makeusbetter for making us better day in, day out. Our platinum executive producer, Corey Hicks. Our gold executive producer, Sheldon Benedict, Tony Baker, and Mr. Mark Moody. Our gentlemen executive producers, Dude427, Martini Jean, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong, George Brooks, James Johnson, Tim Olf. Thank you all so much. And everybody else who comes and donates just $1 a month helps this show run. We can't function without you guys, and so I want to thank each and every one of you for being so generous. And with that, there's so many games, so many news stories to talk about. Mm-hmm. You're right, we're on the eve of E3. After this episode, we're gonna have our E3 rumor prediction show extravaganza literally tomorrow. We're gonna record it tomorrow night, Wednesday show. It should be up by Thursday, and it's fantastic. We're gonna have the ultimate crossover. Mr. Sean Capri from the Xbox Drive is gonna show his face finally on the show, and he's gonna talk to you guys about the Xbox Overdrive segment. Now, with that, again, we got Red Dead Redemption. Destiny 2 makes the news, but before we get into all of it, Kyle, what have you been playing, man?
Well, let's get this out of the way, because you sent a very excited message my way before. You saw that I was playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
And you got real excited. So I dabbled in it a little bit, because when I'm home, when my nieces get off of school, they come downstairs to see me, and they're like, "Hi, Uncle Kai Kai." They call me Kai Kai.
Oh, that's cute.
They're like, "Can we watch you play a game?" And the only games I've been playing right now are not appropriate for them. So I was like, all right, let's throw Fortnite in, because all the kids are talking about the Fortnite dances. It's crazy. And so I played a little bit of that. I came in second once, which is huge.
Yeah, dude, that's really good. That's awesome. Okay.
I played a lot of hiding in somebody's tower until they died.
I like it.
And it ended up being the sniper. The one other guy was across from me, and he was just waiting for me to peek out.
Yep.
So it was a lose situation.
Well, I got good news for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Because by Thursday on Bad Big Games, I will have it's a guide, the 5 things you need to know for beginners if you're doing Destiny, Fortnite. If you're playing Fortnite, there's this basic rule that I'm going to show all console players how to play the game proficiently from someone who I would like to consider myself pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I don't
that's awesome.
But I got 3 victory royales in a row. My first game, Kyle, my first game, I was like, let's try Blitz out. Blitz is insane. It's a mode where the match ends in 10 to 15 minutes, and that's it. The storm's closing constantly. So first game, I haven't won a Blitz yet. It's insanely hard. That's what she said. And bam, I won. And I felt so good. Oh, so good, Kyle.
Nice.
I'm getting bored again, because 3 victory royales in a row. I'm crushing it constantly. And then the other day, 2 victory royales in a row. I got to the max tier in the battle pass. What else is there to accomplish?
They need to have a Mr. Badbit only mode where everyone else is Thanos except for you.
Really, just to make it even.
Yeah. Besides that little bit of Fortnite, I was pleasantly surprised that Far Cry 3 Classic Edition was out.
Yes, I have not downloaded it yet. How is
Yeah.
it?
Far Cry 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, favorite shooters. I love Far Cry 3. And I'm enjoying playing through it again.
Okay.
But it's definitely showing its age.
Aww.
It's a lot of the prompts are not as intuitive as I remember. A lot of holding down square to open up stuff, and it takes a little while. Getting stuck on things, like janky edges and stuff. But it's still super fun. I love taking out outposts and doing the radio towers to unlock more of the map.
What are you liking more though? Like, have you seen that like 5 is maybe like where does it stand for you? Is it still? I mean,
I think out of the Far Cry's that I've played since 3, I actually really love 4 a whole lot. I think it's like right in between those two. I think it's the perfect mix. What I like about 3 is when you clear an outpost, the enemies are don't come around. Like, it actually means something when you clear it out.
Right.
That was one of my biggest issues with Far Cry 5 is, like, I felt I was clearing outposts and clearing them away, but they were still there, and they'd keep coming in, and it didn't feel like I was progressing and making any dent into it.
Yeah, because you had to take out each individual dumb boss guy.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Far Cry 5 to me, it was fun, but yeah, the end is terrible. Terrible.
I still haven't gone back to it. I will eventually, but
what else? Anything else, or
just a little bit more of that Curse of the Moon, the Bloodstained game.
Okay.
But not much more than what I already said.
Yeah, as I'm beginning to prep for E3, there is not many games that I've been playing. So it's literally Fortnite when I could plug in, waste a good 15 minutes, and like get out. So yeah, it's literally been only Fortnite, and I've said too much.
And I forgot Detroit. I played a little bit more of Detroit.
Nice. Yeah, I have. You know what? I think we're gonna give Detroit another chance after E3.
Yeah, I think I ran into the same situation you did. I got to a certain character, and that character died on me, and I got real upset.
Ooh.
And so I'm gonna probably replay that chapter because I don't like how that played out. So
yeah. And that's kind of cool. It's like, actually, I get to change. Well, I didn't like this, so I'm getting to change it. And
the whole
you get
thing
the ending you want. That's what I kind of like. Is like you don't kind of feel cheated because if you don't like something, you could just go back in the chapter and fix it. That's what I really do like about that game.
That whole time I was playing that chapter, I was thinking I was doing everything correctly, and then the very last thing, I get shot and was not happy.
Well, I gotta tell you, Kyle, I'm also not happy at the first bit of news that I got for you today.
Okay.
Red Dead Redemption 2. I love a good Red Dead Redemption. You guys know this. Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite games of all time. It's literally, for so long, it was Last of Us, Red Dead tied, right? Like, these games were so great. Last of Us kind of edged Red Dead out, but Red Dead holds a special place in my heart. Again, number, 256 in the world. The number changes, but it's in the 250 or 40 range.
Yeah.
I was good. Okay, gang. I don't like to brag. But there's a lot of pre-order bonuses. There's a lot of things 2K's doing with the game that I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable about. And so
not 2K.
What's that?
You said 2K, not 2K.
Yeah. Well, Rockstar is owned by 2K.
Oh.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Rockstar is pretty much they're pretty much the BioWare of 2K, right? They kind of have a lot of free range to do what they want, but 2K still kind of reels them in. They're the business portion of the company, and they let Rockstar really do what they want because Rockstar just prints them cash. And so I just want to get right here to this news article. First things first, they've announced, and I'm just gonna go on the GameStop website for a second because I literally lost count of how many limited edition. Oh God.
There's a lot of them.
Game. Here's what I'm counting right now. First, you get your basic $60 game, right? Just a basic. That's all you get.
There's one.
Then you get your $79.99 version of the game, and it comes with a slip-off case. Whoa, fancy. And of course, a couple, like maybe a horse or a couple of skins that you'll never use, right? Then you have your $99 edition. That comes with your steelbook. It comes with the season pass. It comes with a few extra goodies, a war horse, some new outfits. Again, more junk. And then you get another $99 edition, and it doesn't even come with the game. It's a metal tin box. It comes with a couple of pins. It comes with a art book. Comes with a deck of cards, a dumb coin that you'll never use. You'll get 12 cigarette cards, which is different than the playing cards. You get a 6-shooter bandana. Oh my goodness, I've never seen this in a limited edition in my life. Double-sided puzzle and treasure map for $99. Does not
Without
come with
the game.
Does not come with the game. Then you have your $150 version that's exclusive to GameStop. That comes with the basic game. That comes with this stupid collector's box. Then you get the $179 edition, and that comes with the slip-on case version and the dumb box. And then you have the $99 edition.
The $199.
$199 edition that comes with the steelbook case and the stupid treasure chest. And I gotta say, Kyle,
That's 7, by the way. If you're listening, that's 7.
7 limited edition versions of this game. One of them does not include the game. So what it is essentially a $99 loot crate. Remember Loot Crate?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a time. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
What's your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts is that's way too much. And some of those should not be their own SKU. Like, who cares if it's a slip-on packaging cover?
Yeah.
Is that worth the extra $10 or whatever it is? No, it clearly is not. The other stuff that worries me a little bit, I think that's the same thing that I've seen online, like the outrage, is these missions that are exclusive for these editions. Like, I believe one is a bank heist, which sounds awesome, but will I be able to play that down the road? Like, is that ever going to come out separate?
Or do you have to pay for it? Or if your buddy has the collector's edition and you don't, are you screwed out of it? And so that was the next thing I was going to say. Yeah, some of these versions, the deluxe edition and up, have exclusive missions. And I just think that's stupid and silly. And to be honest with each other here, having exclusive content like from the Destiny and Destiny 2 PlayStation versions, half of those missions are just throwaway crap.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even that great. So to me, this is aggravating because you are taking advantage of what is a really, really beautiful, beautiful game. And for me, like, okay, I understand the pre-order bonuses. Some people were getting outraged for the pre-order bonuses, and essentially, it grants you this Warhorse.
Yep.
This Outlaw Survival Kit.
Which I've heard, I didn't play the first one, but isn't Warhorse a horse from the first game? I think it's based off of one from the first game, from what I've heard.
It doesn't come to mind. I haven't played Red Dead in years, but cool. The Warhorse also is a special type of horse. Horses have different personalities and different traits. So in some special editions, you get a racehorse. So when you're racing, that's the horse you want. This Warhorse doesn't get scared of bullets. I think that's stupid and game breaking, to be completely honest. It's something I don't think I'm going to use. It'll also give you Grand Theft Auto Online money, $500,000, if you pre-order by July 31st. And you'll also get an exclusive treasure map for the story mode. For me, this takes advantage of of the hype, and it takes advantage of the fans. And I'm going to admit something right here, Kyle.
Yeah.
I saw this version, okay? And I got so upset. I was like, wow, they have a limited edition of this console. How could they? While I was writing these notes and I was reading everything, I was like, this is too much. This is taking advantage of me. Be right back. I got to go to GameStop. I'm part of the problem, Kyle.
No, yeah.
Because, like, here's the thing. Like, I love Red Dead Redemption. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And the one thing I always say to people is like, wow, like if I could wipe my memory and try that game again, I'd pay $500. And so paying $200 to me is crazy and not a good way to spend your money. But holy crap, I love Red Dead. And the one thing that I've always regretted, my biggest gaming regret, was there was like a $80 or $100 version, collector's version of The Last of Us.
I was just about to say that. That is, I had the mid-tier one, the one with the art book. That's the one I got from Last of Us.
Was it a steelbook?
Yes, there was.
Okay, so when I pre-ordered The Last of Us, nobody fucking told me there was a steelbook. Nobody told me there was like this awesome collectors, and so I missed out. And I always regretted it. So for this edition, I was just like, damn it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm dumb. But I am worried. I am. The hype has turned to concern. The more I start hearing about it, the more things that I see that are being taken out of the game and being held for ransom. And that's what it really is at the end of the day, right? Like these things, what, if they weren't going to be part of this limited edition, were they not have going to exist?
Exactly. I think that's what the biggest issue is, because collector's editions on their own are great. Yeah. I really enjoy them because you love the game that much, you love that franchise so much, you want to show it off with some. It's not necessary, like
no, absolutely
people.
Not, but
if you don't have space, of course, don't get a collector's edition. But it's nice to have that option, you know. But
I'm just looking around. I'm like, I don't have any space, Kyle.
I know. I was just thinking, like, I have the Spider one pre-ordered. I don't know where that statue's going.
But that's the thing about the Spider-Man edition, right? All those things you get inside of it, like, yeah, sure, maybe you get one little like in-game thing, but like, it's all fan service. Yeah. And it's all just stuff you can still get in the game. So, like, to me, it's all fan service. That statue, it's fan service.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, yeah, I know I'm going to love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero, of course. Like, dude, the God of War Stonemason edition is a beautiful collector's edition. Yes, I love it. And it's just a great way of, like, yeah, like, when done right, it's a great way of kind of going, yeah, this is like a little memento. Right? Yep. Like, look at this. Look at, I got my mirror on my mic.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, I did that the other day. I'm like, oh, I like this. So, like, you know, it's just a great little, like, token of something you love. And this kind of just takes that and mutilates it.
Yeah. Now, going off topic a little bit.
Sure.
Has there ever been a collector's edition you got that you've regretted for some reason?
I'm looking around.
Okay, because I have mine. I don't have it anymore.
Let me know.
I got the premium edition, the most expensive one of the Order.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. I was like, actually, I remember. Is he around somewhere?
As whatever you could say about the game, I like the game for what it was. It wasn't what they built it out to be, for sure.
Yeah.
But man, that statue was really freaking cool. It was a werewolf jumping over like a banister, and Galahad diving over and shooting him in the air.
Oh, I didn't have that one. I had
it was like it was very long. It was a very long statue, and it was beautifully detailed. But
how much was that one, if you don't mind?
I think it was like $149, $150. Okay.
Yeah, mine was like $80, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool, $80."
Yeah, they had two different versions. I think that one had Galahad like behind a wall or something.
Behind a wall, and this fence that you couldn't like you had to manually put in yourself, but you had to break your fucking fingers. Awful.
Yeah, so like collector's editions are hits and misses, but you take that chance by pre-ordering it. So like, yeah, I guess I am part of that problem. Because especially when it comes to Sony first-party stuff, if they're going to have a collector's edition, especially with the statue, I'm going to try my damnedest to try to pre-order that thing.
Also, my Nathan Drake looks sick.
Yeah, the one for Uncharted 4 the statue isn't great.
Yeah, that one's kind of lazy. I think that's another one I regret. I should have just got the Steelbook. Horizon one, Aloy looks a little sick, but I love the Watcher on the bottom of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I have a Marcus Phoenix one. Mm-hmm. I remember getting that when I used to work at GameStop. That is one of my... that statue will never go down. I'm looking at it right now with pride. I love it. I have a Soldier 76. I got the $150 version of the Overwatch. Love it. Mm-hmm. And I have the original Destiny, Michael Dinklage.
Michael Dinklage.
Dinklebot. So usually like when I know I'm gonna get into a game, I'll get a little trinket because it's just something to like. It expresses who I am. You know, but things like this, like actually reading it now, I'm like, I pre-ordered the $99 one, the Steelbook, because I'll get a Steelbook. I'm a slut for Steelbooks.
I'm with you on that one.
But for my brother, just in case, and it was for me, like if I decided I didn't want to, right? So like I didn't want it, so I could back out and get that one. I think after reading everything, I'm like, yeah, no, I think this is the right call.
Yeah, and when it comes to the one that doesn't have the game, I'm with you. I don't understand that as much. Because Wolfenstein had that too, where it was just the first one. It just had all this like crazy stuff without the game. And then I was watching Beyond before we recorded, and I believe it was Alana on there said that makes sense for people that buy games digitally and they still want like collector's edition stuff to go along with it.
Yes.
So I mean that. It still doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but at least there's that option for those that are trying to go digital.
I actually think that is pretty. That is a pretty good defense. Usually, yeah, like collector's editions, they are trash, but yeah, it's like for the enthusiasts of us all that wants it. That makes sense. I know EA does it, but to me, if you're gonna have that out, then if you're gonna take the game out, then just make it super badass. Put all you could do, like. Put all you could be into it, like this,
or put the code in this collector's edition.
Yeah,
like you want to digitally put the code in there.
That's incredibly smart. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I am a little worried. Again, if you're a PlayStation owner, and this is because to me, I was actually about to buy this game for the Xbox One. Because of the power of true 4K. No, because that's where I played it originally.
Yeah.
I play things where I originally left off. I literally have Red Dead almost plat. I literally, I think there's a handful of online trophies I have left. Achieve whatever. The trophies are better. So like, yeah, but then seeing like, exclusive stuff. Again, these marketing deals, they work, man. They really do, because I'm just like, if I'm gonna get more stuff and it's for free, might as well go over there. So I think, dude, it's crazy. How many copies of Red Dead are going to sell better, like ratio wise, from PlayStation to Xbox? Do you think it's gonna be dramatic, or do you think it's gonna be pretty even?
I actually think it might be pretty even.
Yeah.
Just because of, like, when I hear Xbox talk about backwards compatibility, they always go with Red Dead as, like, the prime example of, hey, you can play the first Red Dead on Xbox One via backwards compatibility. Yeah. So I think both sides have a little bit of Red Dead in them. So I think it will be kind of even. But, like, PlayStation has more units out there, so I think it'll eventually edge it out.
Yeah. I think usually from what I've seen with games, it is almost 2-1. PlayStation just dominates because more units. And excuse me, when we're talking about Red Dead, I think it is going to be actually Xbox is going to gain a little bit, because there is one thing that I have to, as a PlayStation fan, give to the other side for what Phil Spencer and their team does so perfectly. Is that when they don't have marketing for a game like Destiny, when the original Destiny came out, you know what they advertised? Destiny the clone, to try to get over the fact that no guys, we have Destiny too.
Yeah.
And for Red Dead, like by doing so many things, like a lot of people say, this 4K patch, it's awesome and it's beneficial for gamers, but understand really why they did it. They did it because probably Xbox paid them like a couple bucks to do it, so that they can tout, hey, Red Dead. You could get Red Dead on backwards compatibility. You could get Red Dead 4K on the Xbox One. Hey guys, remember Game Pass? Red Dead. Red Dead is always one of the first games when you see Game Pass, you see that game. Yeah. So for me, I think I wouldn't be surprised if there's some type of back-end deal that Microsoft has made, and probably 2K and Rockstar are aware of it, that they're just like, like we'll pay you to have Red Dead here. We'll pay you to put 4K on it, so that they could just let everybody know, hey guys, Red Dead. Yeah. And also just to be kind of more for Xbox here. Most people played it on the original Xbox 360, right? So Yeah, I think it's going to be closer than I think Sony would like. But my next question here,
Yeah.
if I was Shu, because we know if, Shuhei, he runs Sony. That's as plain as day.
Yep.
Red Dead, I want, before we get into just like early spoilers of the next episode, are we going to see Red Dead gameplay on stage?
Man, I don't think so. I still don't think we'll see it on any of the stages.
I think we are, man. Because I was so for Bad Bit Games, I was doing a little research, right? And they're like, oh, everybody tells you Rockstar never goes on stage. They always, though, they bring a trailer. Like with GTA 5, to announce that GTA 5 was coming to, PlayStation 4 and they had to deal with it, it was on E3 stage, right?
It was, yeah.
They did Grand Theft Auto when they announced that it was coming to the Xbox 360. So Rockstar, they don't make an appearance themselves. They bring a trailer, and I think that trailer has gameplay attached to it. That's my little if I was you for you.
Yeah.
But with that, this week, I'm going to be honest with you guys, not the most Sony news because we're hunkering down for E3. We're getting there. So the news is a little stagnant. It's more it's less PlayStation than usual, but don't worry, we're getting there. Hitman 2 leaked ahead of official reveal, and at this point it is revealed. IO Interactive and WB will be publishing the next Hitman game, Hitman 2. God, Kyle, have you ever played any of the Hitman games?
No, I have not.
I have not either.
Yeah.
I don't want to be lying to you guys.
No.
My cousin used to love Hitman. Hitman Blood Money was his game, and I just used to sit down and watch. But the one thing that I bring this up for is just, and I put it in the show notes here, breaking the fourth wall. It's like, this is how you do business. You know, a few months back, we talked about how IO Interactive and Square Enix were parting ways. And, they just didn't see Hitman as a profitable IP. And instead of just keeping it, and instead of just, letting go everybody at IO, they just went, okay, bye IO. And you know what? Take Hitman.
Yeah.
And I think that's really awesome because they were already working on a game, and Square could have been a piece of crap and just went, no, we're not going to sell it to you, or no, we're not going to give it to you. And then, they would be screwed. But IO Interactive has partnered with Warner Brothers to deliver, Hitman 2. So if you guys are into that, go for it.
I do enjoy watching people play Hitman.
Yeah.
Like, whenever Achievement Hunter does it, or Funhouse plays, like, all the old ones, and they're always hilarious and very funny to watch. But it's not my type of game. I'm awful at stealthing. And Hitman's all about it, so.
Dude, here's the thing. I'm awful at stealth games, but when it comes to games like Horizon, I always choose stealth.
Yeah. As I'm playing Far Cry 3, I stealth and try not to get seen, and I'm decent at that, but like when the game's the main gameplay hook is stealth, it's not. I can't do it.
I can't. Yeah, me neither. I'm excited to see Hitman. Do you think it's going to be on Sony stage?
No. If anything, probably Xbox.
Ooh, yeah. Well, you know what? I think it has been on both. I think they've both had deals, so it could go.
The last newest version of Hitman, I think, was on PlayStation stage.
Oh, okay.
The reveal, but I could see it hopping stages.
Yeah, you're totally right. They had like like they had like this special beta. It was in December. Yep, totally right, Kyle. Man, perfect here. So yeah, go for it, Hitman. I think I'm gonna try this one though. I really am. Now that IO is independent, I want to support those guys. I've always enjoyed watching, so hopefully, maybe I'll enjoy playing it.
And I believe we'll get to see something this Thursday, June 7th.
Yes.
They're having like a live stream, Warner Brothers is, right?
Yeah, and that's really awesome. Really awesome. They're getting ahead of E3. And speaking of getting ahead, here it is. This is why we're called the Trophy Room. Sony announced something really weird a couple of days ago. They are getting in front of E3. When we talked about it 2 weeks ago, they said, hey, we're only going to talk about 4 games. Yep. Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, which I rewatched the trailer for.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that game's awesome. I'm so
Right?
excited.
And I believe I told you this at PSX.
Yeah.
I went to their panel.
Yeah.
And they were like really excited about telling us that they mocapped real horses. Like they put horses in mocap suits.
That's awesome.
So I can't wait to see how that looks,
dude,
in this game.
Okay. Anyway, Death Stranding.
Yeah. Yes.
And then, of course, Last of Us Part 2, and that was the focus. But now they say, okay, actually, we're going to first, June 6th, 8 a.m. Pacific. Okay? They're going to announce a new PlayStation 4 game with PSVR support. June 7th, 8 a.m. Pacific time, right? Release date for an up-and-coming Worldwide Studios title. Friday, June 8th, 8 a.m., new PS4 game. Saturday, June 8th, 8 a.m., new PSVR game. And then June 10th at 8 a.m., details and eagerly anticipated game comes to PSVR. So what I want to do here, Kyle, is we're going to play a little pre-E3. We're going to pre-game E3 right here, right now. You ready?
I love this. Yes, I'm ready.
So we're going to start guessing what each one of these games are. And hey, sky's the limit. You're going to find out if we're wrong about the first prediction right here, right now, because by the time this episode goes live, you're going to know at June 6th. So please go at PS Trophy Room. Tell us how wrong we are. We love talking to you guys. And with that, June 6th, the first reveal, a new PlayStation 4 game with PSVR support. What is this?
This is something that I'm struggling to come up with because I can think of other things that just has PSVR support added onto it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it says it's a new PS4 game is interesting to me. I would love for it to be like a Hot Shots game with PSVR. Like my mind went to Everybody's Golf, but in VR. So maybe they go to tennis and they do Hot Shots tennis in VR.
Ooh, okay. You know what I was actually thinking? Because it doesn't say, like, it says new PS4 game. It doesn't say exclusive, though.
Very true.
So, because I love them so much, Kyle.
Yeah.
There's this little studio called From Software, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're one of my favorite developers of all time. Thanks to a little indie game called Bloodborne. I don't know if you know. I love that game. They have a series called Armor Core. It's a mech style game I've never played. I'll be honest with you, never played it. But From Software, that's where they used to make their bread and butter before Dark Souls. So I actually think that this Armor Core is going to be announced right here, and it's going to have PSVR support, similar to Zone of the Enders. But I'm actually going to buy this game because it's not by Konami. So
that'd be a great way to kick off this whole everyday type of announcements.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's an Armored Core game, which I think has a pretty solid fan base, and you get to play it in VR. Yeah, that's huge.
And it's From Software. They have become this name, this force of like, this is quality, right? Okay, June 6th. Release date for an upcoming Worldwide Studios title.
Yeah.
What do you think this is?
So it's either one or two. I think we can both agree on this one. Okay. It's not going to be any of the big four.
No, absolutely. No, they're saving Spider-Man. We already know. How funny would it be? It's like, actually, we're moving Spider-Man up a day.
Yeah.
You know, they're saving all those four. Those four are major.
Yeah.
So,
actually, you know what? It might be one of three. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Well, what are the three?
It's either going to be Days Gone.
Okay.
It's either going to be Dreams. Or Concrete Genie.
Concrete Genie?
That was the game they showed off at PS4 where it was like the graffiti and the artwork comes to life and helps you solve puzzles in the world.
This sounds like an acid trip.
It looks pretty cool. I think it's a story about a boy who's like, he gets bullied. And
man, now I sound like an asshole.
No. Yeah. I shouldn't have led with that after you said it. But he like goes to art to help him cope, and the characters he draws give him special abilities to traverse like the gloomy town. It's a cool looking game. So I have a feeling it might be that, because I think Dreams and Days Gone are way bigger in the Sony lineup.
So I actually think June 7th is Days Gone. Because Dreams is coming up later. Don't worry about it. You trust me. Trust me. So yeah, June 7th, I think his Days Gone. What do you think? Concrete Genie?
I'm gonna go Concrete Genie on that one.
June 8th, Friday. New
Yeah.
PS4 game. What the fuck is this?
I don't know, man. Oh, jeez. And the way I'm looking at these announcements type things, again, I believe it was on the Beyond episode, and it was a great comparison. Last year, they did that pre-show, where they announced stuff in the pre-show.
Yes.
This is like their pre-show, I feel like.
Okay.
So these are those type of announcements. I'm trying to think of something that would fit a new PS4 game.
You know what? We'll leave this as name changes.
Okay, yeah.
June, new PSVR game. So, yeah, I think that one. I can't think of anything. I know that there's an. I'll say this. I'll just throw a bone here. Yeah. I know Insomniac has a few VR games. Maybe one of their games goes over there.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
Could be another Supermassive game? Could that be the new PS4 game? Could we get an Until Dawn follow-up?
Ooh, that's a good question, because Until Dawn, right? Like, great game. Supermassive did great on that.
Yeah.
But the next few games, I mean, like, you know, the circus one, Rush of Blood, that was okay. Yep. But then their next two, right? Like, what is it? Bravo Team? Bravo Team, no, not has to. It is the worst game I played this year.
Yeah.
Impatient, I heard, very boring. So maybe you do put them here. Maybe this is Until Dawn 2. You know, well, let's do it. Let's put Until, because the only thing I think about that, right? And I'm like, but Until Dawn did sell gangbusters, so maybe you put it up with the big guys, but. No, you know what? I'm going to put it here because here's my reasoning, Kyle. Though it did sell gangbusters, it is no Last of Us, it is no Death Stranding, it is no Ghost of Tsushima, it is no Spider-Man. Okay. Last but not least, June 10th, an eagerly anticipated game comes to PlayStation VR. Mm-hmm. I said it earlier, Kyle. What do you think?
I want you to go on this one.
It's Dreams.
You think this is Dreams?
Here's the reason why. First off, the devs have hinted at some type of VR support, and I'll be honest, this is what Dreams needs, and this is what VR needs. VR needs content, right?
Yeah.
This is a sandbox where you create content. They're going hand in hand, and also what Dreams needs. So VR needs content. Dreams needs people to buy it.
Yeah.
And though I think Dreams is a really beautiful game, don't get me wrong, and Media Molecule makes beautiful games, they're not system sellers. And for Dreams to be out for so long, it must have costed Sony an arm and a leg. And I think the reason why it's been delayed for so much and we haven't heard much is because of the PlayStation VR. I think this is a major release for the VR headset. I think... I'm very hopeful on it. What do you think?
And here's the thing, and I want to pick something different, but it's one of those things where you hear an idea being said, and it's hard to not think of that being the case. And so I was watching Kind of Funny Games Daily one day, and Greg brought up, what if this is the game Beat Saber? Have you seen Beat Saber?
Yeah, I thought Beat Saber was on PSVR.
It is not on PSVR.
Ooh.
And so if you don't know what Beat Saber is, it's a rhythm game in VR, but you're using lightsabers. And it looks freaking dope. It's what I want.
Yeah.
And he said that, and that totally makes sense, because that's super... Everyone loves seeing videos of that, and it's not on PSVR. And that'd be a huge get for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know I would play my VR every day.
Yeah, because that's something, dude, I would do a Mamma Mia Let's Play immediately.
Yeah.
Because the cool thing with Beat Saber is you can just slash down, but like there's some moves you gotta slash up, slash to side, and do all these cool little tricks.
And like walls that you have to avoid. And...
Yep. And it's a perfect VR game, and it's, to me, one of the only VR games that's really picking up steam. that
Yeah.
I'm hearing break out of the VR bubble and into the mainstream is this game. So yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I would think
Credit to Craig Miller on that one.
yeah, you know what? He owes us because we gave him the shout outs. But I'm gonna say this. I think
You're not bad on yours though. I think Dreams could also be it too.
I do think it's Dreams, and I think Beat Saber is 9. That's where I'll put it.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see. That's how Daddy gets both. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Now we did all these little predictions, and here's the real. If I was you, would have I just put these games into the conference? Am I making a mistake? Are these games going to be overshadowed by the EA conference, by Microsoft, by Nintendo, by whoever comes out by that time? And by the time E3 is said and done, are we going to remember these games even came out? So if I was Shu, again, secretly the whole head of everything, he's the omnipotent one. Did he make a mistake?
No. I think this is actually really smart on Sony's, because no matter what day, no matter what conference is going, there's some Sony news there. So Sony is going to have a presence, no matter how big or small, on every single day leading up to their conference. And I think that's super smart, and they'll always have a bit of the news for that day.
So I don't know, and I forget when the EA conference starts. Is it Saturday? Friday?
It's Saturday.
Okay, it's Saturday. I think up until Saturday, this was a great idea. I think, you're getting ahead of E3. Maybe these are smaller titles that, get people who are passionate about, PlayStation excited. But to me, the big mistake with like the Paris Games Week conference and some conferences before is the pre-show, where they announced some things. Like PlayLink was announced at the pre-show, and nobody knew about it. And I think that's one of the detriments to why PlayLink is, let's be honest, at this point, dead on arrival. Because nobody even knew it came out, because it was overshadowed by the Last of Us trailer at the end. Right,
which I think it's still smart to do it this way, though. These games won't get overshadowed that way.
I mean, I'm just thinking like Saturday, right? New PSVR game, Anthem, right?
True, yeah,
Sunday,
but unless they have like a huge VR game that they're going to pull out, maybe they planned it accordingly. But like, I'm being the optimist right now.
I'm being the pessimist.
Yeah.
Right? We're butting heads. This is what the people want. We want to fight. But then, like, June 10th, right? Sunday. Oh, great. Dreams comes to VR. Oh, no. Bethesda announced a lot of VR titles. Fallout 76, Starfield, knock on wood. Like, it's just... where, like... I don't know. I don't feel like it's the smart move. I think that these games... by being put here, if I was you...
Yeah.
I would have started this on Monday. And I would have had it so that the whole week is like Sony. So leading up, it's Sony. And then, EA and then Microsoft. And yes, these games will lose mind share because these other conferences come out, but they're going to anyway. At least they had a day where they owned the spotlight for a moment. And because they were doing it in such a way where they're like, we're starting E3 early, I think is a great way for them to kind of put more steam behind these games. That's what I can think.
And on the other hand, this makes me excited about the actual conference. Yeah. If these type of announcements can't make that show, they've got to have some other things in there to fill the void, because they're not, those 4 games that they're going to focus on, they're not going to spend, at least I don't think, they're not going to spend like 20 minutes each on them.
That's true.
I think they'll do 7 to 10 minutes on each one. And so they're going to have to fill the time with other stuff. So that kind of makes me excited for what they have to fill that time.
Yeah, I do think that, Sony's conference this year is just an hour, if I'm not mistaken.
Just an hour? Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong. But if that's the case, you have 7. I think you have tops 6 to 7 minutes to sell each one of these games. Right? Because then if you only have 20 minutes you got to fill in with Call of Duty, Red Dead, Destiny. Forsaken, which we'll talk about in a second, and then apparently Devil May Cry.
Yeah, what?
Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
Kyle, you put this on the news.
I did.
Why? What are these titles? What's going on here?
Uh, their domains, their websites got bought up. So they're live, and the Resident Evil 2 one was already a thing, but it was updated like this week.
Yeah, and that's how people found out about Resident Evil 7 was right before its announcement. There was a domain for Resident Evil 7.
And I believe Monster Hunter 2 was another one.
Monster Hunter as well. And this was found by a Devil May Cry Discord fan.
Yeah.
He felt like, that's so weird. Like, I never knew that existed. And, okay. So, have you played any of, like Resident Evil, Devil May Cry? What does this do for you?
I've dabbled in Resident Evil.
Okay.
It's been a while since I played one of those games. But Devil May Cry, I played the PS2 ones, like, extensively. I kind of stopped once 4 came out. I didn't play the reboot one. But I'm excited for it because I like those kind of over-the-top, kooky Capcom action games. I think that's something that's missing and the PlayStation lineup. So
now first, when we talk about DMC Devil May Cry, I played the remake and I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I got past the 4th level. Was not a fan, but I know that the original games, especially Devil May Cry 3, was huge with fans. So with Devil May Cry 5, this is, you think, old Dante with white hair?
Oh yes.
Okay. So
I think it'd be a mistake. It'd be a mistake if you don't go back to that white-haired Dante.
Yeah. You think now? Do you think they just tried to change too much with that remake?
Yeah, I think they did. I think their vision for it kind of got out of their hands, away from them a little bit. So I'm hoping they kind of go back to what made Devil May Cry Devil May Cry.
Okay. Now, the next thing that I've been seeing on the internet about Devil May Cry, I want to ask you, since you're probably gonna know more than me. Devil May Cry.
Not by 5. Much, but yeah.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Probably PlayStation.
Because it's why?
Well, Devil May Cry 4 was exclusive to PlayStation.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was.
See, this is how dumb I am, kids. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? Now I'm second guessing myself. So let me double check.
Kyle, don't even double check. Just go.
I'm going to, because this is going to eat.
Because now if you even say like, oh well, it was remastered on the Xbox, I'm not gonna believe you at this point. Because then who do I believe at this point, Kyle? You're telling me lies. I don't know who to trust. No, I actually think Devil May Cry is synonymous with PlayStation. Like, even when I was a youngster, a young up and comer, I always thought, oh yeah, like that's what you play on PlayStation. Like,
so yeah, it's a good thing I checked because I lied. It was not exclusive.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna go with the guy. It wasn't exclusive.
Sure. In my head, it was an exclusive.
Yeah.
That's all.
And Resident Evil 2. Now, again, these games, I was a young kid, a young up and coming kid. My mom wouldn't let me play these games.
Yeah.
Is Resident Evil 2 exclusive to PlayStation, or do you think this will get announced at their floor?
No, I don't think it will be exclusive. I think out of the two, maybe Devil May Cry 5 has a better shot of being exclusive only to Sony. Okay. But I'm excited for the Resident Evil 2 remake because a lot of people say like that's one of the better ones.
Okay.
And I haven't touched it. I think the first one I actually played was 4. So I'm excited to go back.
Spain.
Yeah, and it's like it's an escort mission for most of it.
Okay, well, I'm on board. I'll say that. I do think Devil May Cry, you're going to see it on the PlayStation floor for sure. Resident Evil 2, I would like to see if they have it so that it's both third person, but if you want to go to the first person perspective, you can. Because I'll be honest with you, Resident Evil 7 was really good. It was one of my top games last year. I thought it was fantastic, and I think it's because of the first person perspective added added to the tank controls that Resident Evil was synonymous for, that I just couldn't, as a third person game, I just couldn't get into. Like seeing everybody move around, maneuver so clunkily. Is that a word I just made up?
No,
anyway,
that has a lot to do with the fixed cameras too.
Yeah, and so I think with the first person, I would like it a lot more. But hey, cool.
I think part of me, because of the success of 7 and the VR mode in 7, part of me thinks Resident Evil 2 could be played in VR as well. That's why it's taking so long. So I have part of me wants to say that that's going to be part of the answer.
So what if Resident Evil is that eagerly anticipated game that comes to PlayStation VR?
It could. Yeah.
You know what I'm not eagerly anticipating?
What?
It's our last story of the day.
Oh, man.
And I'm just not a fan of it.
Oh, wait. There might be another story.
Okay.
That's out there.
Then I'll get out. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, Mimir. I'm so sorry I knocked you. Destiny 2's next expansion is changing a lot. This comes from Kotaku. They have, and I've just put some of the changes in the notes. If you want to go more in depth, go to the Kotaku article or go to the DualShockers article. Give those two sites a click. Pretty much from what I've seen of I watched the live stream and I watched the announcement for it. The premise is kind of dumb. It's
okay.
For some reason, Cade has this prison full of all these real nasty dudes because he didn't just kill them, and the prison is broken, and everybody's free, and you gotta kill all these bad guys.
Yeah,
great. So right then there, I'm gonna be honest, not sold on the plot or the story. Could now care less. Again, if I'm wrong, yell at me on Twitter, PS Trophy Room. But from what I saw, the main new things that they stress is new weapon. It's a bow. There's bows for long, medium, and close range variants. There is a new area/raid called the Dreaming City. It's a raid on the reef, which is a place we've already seen.
Yeah,
but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, because guess what? You can visit, as much shit as I gave Warmind, you can visit the same planet as long as it looks different. I'm not gonna go after you for it. Now, Bungie stressed that the Dreaming City is a mixture of the Taken King map and the Vault of Glass. Just had a baby, had twins. I think it was the thing they said. So cool, awesome, I guess. There's new supers. The Warlock has this really cool teleport thing that when you could teleport into guys and they just explode, which I thought was really cool. The Hunters have like these things where they just throw all these small pikes, like these samurai daggers at people.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's a cleave AoE attack. And then Titans have this dive move, which okay.
There's also because I only watched the announcement trailer.
Yeah.
Doesn't one of them have the Titan? Isn't he have like a big hammer?
That's what it is. I'm sorry. The Titan has one of the Titans, the Fire Titan. What was it? You had Flame Strike, I think was what it was called. You threw hammers. This one is actually you conjure this huge two-handed mace and you're just whacking people, which I thought was cool. The supers actually look nuts. They have changes to weapons, mods, and armors. It's pretty much giving you more ways of making your hunter feel and look unique. The one cool thing, and we'll have to see when the game goes live, is that back in the day you were restricted of what guns you could have in your arsenal. They're actually changing it. You can have any weapon anywhere. It does not matter. You can have it on any slot. If you want all shotguns, you can have all shotguns. I think they said they were even toying with the idea of, hey, if you want all rocket launchers, be my guest. But whatever, man. It's your funeral.
And something to go along with the weapons and armor and stuff. They showed off like you can keep track of everything you've earned, and As like a menu person, an RPG guy, I like seeing like you can complete a whole set and it keeps track of stuff.
Yes.
And like your accomplishments, like I believe they said, if you complete something in the game, it's different from trophies or achievements. Like you'll have a title above your head that will show that you completed this. So you'll have like a nickname, like Billy the Kid. Like they would have that kind of stuff in there.
Okay, so that's why like a lot of these things, like the changes to the weapons, armor, and mobs, and this, it actually reminds me a lot of World of Warcraft. When you completed a raid or did something special, you actually had titles.
Yes.
And so like, so if you were back in the old PvP in World of Warcraft, you get titles by how good you were at PvP. So if you knew someone played World of Warcraft for a very long time because they got rid of those titles, and when they brought titles back, if you were OG vanilla player, you got whatever your title was before.
Yeah.
So I was Staff Sergeant. I forget what was my name. Hunted. I was a hunter called Hunted, and like you could be like the war chief or whatever. It was awesome. It was cool, and they had all these cool like if you defeated the Lich King, you were the Kingslayer.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's so badass.
So that's something I think is pretty cool. Yeah. And before we get into the last thing that I added that you didn't have in there.
Oh, so sorry.
I'm actually kind of excited by what they showed.
Yeah?
I mean, the kind of the Western Cade thing with the gel is not ideal, but all the stuff they added to me makes it more of a complete base game.
Okay.
Like all these little things that they're changing up and they're not restricting you as much and make it more gamey. I actually really enjoy.
Okay. Now the next part, and maybe I don't know if this was your thing, was a new PvP/PvE arena called Gambit.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to describe, but pretty much what you're trying to do, it's 2 teams of 3. And
2 teams of 4.
Oh, 2 teams of 4. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I can take a stab at it if you want.
Oh, please go for it, Kyle.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I could be so not ready to talk about this.
I literally just watched it before we recorded, so it's kind of fresh.
I like it. Go for it.
So it's going to be 2 teams of 4 against each other, and you'll be able to see each other like pre-match, and you can like taunt each other beforehand and whatnot. And then each team goes separately into 2 different arenas. And it's kind of looks like a horde mode where you're killing these dudes and you get these things called moats, they were saying.
Yes.
And if you put moats in your bank, for the other arena, the bank closes and they have like barriers, like these giant guardians that you have to defeat before you can put more of your stuff in your bank, like the other team's bank. And then once in a while, one of your team members will have the ability to go infiltrate the other arena and cause havoc.
Yeah.
So that's where the mashup kind of goes.
And it's a race to get to the final boss to kill them.
Yes. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. This mode is different. And I'll be honest, that was the thing that excited me the most out of everything.
That's what excited me too.
Because I was just like, wow, this is different. This kind of reminded me of Smite, where like right before you start a match, you're in the jungle and you're trying to get your power ups, and it kind of reminded me of that, going through the jungle, killing stuff, and then like the enemy team coming and invading you, and then you're having this fight with the AI, you're having the fight with the enemy team, and it's chaos. And so that was actually something cool, because I'll be honest with you, God, if I saw like a Destiny Battle Royale mode, I would have been done.
Yeah.
So you're optimistic. I'm still pessimistic over the whole thing. So this is also being developed by High Moon Studios. They did all the awesome Transformer games.
Yeah, they did.
I have high hopes. They also work side by side with Bungie to get the previous installments out. So this isn't like Bungie isn't even working on the game. They've actually been working with Destiny or Bungie since original Destiny. So cool. That's cool. I need to see more. This did not win me over one bit. And the thing that gets me, Kyle, the thing that twists my panties about this, Kyle, is this little excerpt I took out of, I believe, the Kotaku article, and it is The expansion, which will also include a new story developed by High Moon Studios, there you go, in partnership with Bungie, will retail at $39.99, which is normal. That's what the Ticket King did. And it will include a new annual pass for, it's an extra $30. This is actually wrong by Kotaku. Just try it. Hire me. I'll fix this for you. For $69.99, it's actually the annual pass will cost $30. A digital deluxe edition will include the premium digital content for $79.99. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Is I thought we were over this. You cannot in this day and age expect to have microtransactions, to have loot boxes in your games, and then on top of it, have season pass. Who the fuck do you think you are?
So, like, in reality, Destiny 2 will have 2 different season passes? Unless I'm thinking wrongly?
In reality, here's the real reality of this. This $39.99 piece of content fixes the game. It makes it whole. From what I've seen from the Bungie or from the Destiny community, it gets it a little past the original Destiny 1, which is sad, but that's what we're at. So instead of paying $60, you're paying $100. And then on top of that, to get all the little annual, season pass year 1, is that additional $40. So tap that on. It's $140 for the annual season pass. If this is correct, you're paying over $200 to have a full game. On top of the fact of microtransactions, on top of the fact of all these little emotes that you can't get unless you roll the right roll.
Yeah.
That's where I turn around and go, I'm not buying this game. This is what gets me overly pessimistic about this whole thing. Is that and it hurts. I get it if hey, by any chance, Bungie dev who works on this, I am not talking about you. You're doing great work. Keep it up. But your boss is a dick. It hurts me because I say this all the time, but it sucks because I love Bungie. I hate to hate them. I'm not being mean because it's going to get me a click. It's going to get people to listen more, right? It's going to start drama or whatever. I'm being critical and I'm being mean because I love you. Because, I put in Halo Combat Evolved, and because of that game, I'm a gamer. Right? Like, you're the first studio I fell in love with. I followed you excessively. Like, I say this all the time, turning on my PlayStation 4, seeing the alpha on my original PlayStation 4, seeing the Bungie logo on my PlayStation 4 got me emotional. Okay? Yeah. I love you, Bungie. I've followed you through thick and through thin. What you've done with Destiny 2. And I was waiting. And maybe they'll announce it later. I was waiting for, hey guys, you know what? Eververse is a mistake. We're going to fix it. Not get rid of it, fix it. Hey guys, we're not going to do season pass because you know what? That gates out people and that gates out the community. And, we're going to take a cue from DICE, right? They took out season passes out of Battlefield 1 because guess what? Or Battlefield the series because guess what? It gated off content and that meant that people couldn't play with their friends and they did not want to do that because you know what? The longevity of the game is as long as you update it constantly, people will come back. And seeing content being gated off, seeing just outright greed by these guys is something I never expected. Yeah. I never expected this. And it's just depressing because I've seen the games they've made. They're beautiful. I saw Halo 2 with zombies, right? And loving that game, dude. They added so much stuff in it, and they treated their community right. Deej is awesome. He's a great guy, community manager there. Playing Reach and seeing, hey, all the community playlists were here, and we made it official. It was that redeeming moment. I love your games. They could be better, and seeing this now. Whatever.
Yeah.
I was gonna put it in the notes, but we'll talk about it. Bungie just got $100 million to make another game for a Chinese publisher called NetEase. And so Bungie, you don't need this money. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get it. Bungie, you're trying to take this money. There's a net. Get out of it. You're trying to take this money. You want to be a self-publisher. You want to be like a Bethesda, hopefully, maybe, where you're working on multiple games at once. That's cool and everything, but man, treat your player base right. And I feel like it's at the point where I feel like the Destiny community is like the fucking, like the battered girlfriend that keeps telling you, oh, he's gonna treat me better. It's like, no, he's fucking not. So like, I'm seeing this and I'm looking at it, and though, you know what, Gambit looks fun and it looks like they're fixing a lot of things. I see that season pass and I see Eververse and I see, hey, we're not even gonna take back the shader thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll start fixing it as time goes by, but no, I'm done. I think this is it. Done with Destiny. I'm done with Bungie, and that hurts me to say. I got Master Chief helmet, got my little kid, got my Dinklebot. You know, it sucks. It really does.
I'm hoping one day you'll be able to reconcile, and make up.
You know, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm also thinking, September rolls around, I'm gonna be playing Spooderman.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Kyle, was there one more piece of news that I left out? 'Cause I'm bummed.
Yeah, so
it's gonna make me feel better, Kyle, or it's gonna give me that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna make you feel better.
Okay.
A little peek behind the curtain, as Joe would say. Last week we had to re-record the episodes a bunch. So we couldn't remember if we talked about PS Plus games.
You were going to say this was good news.
It is good news. So we're not sure if we talked about the PS Plus games for June, and if that went live in one of the episodes. So don't you be hating on these PS Plus games, Joe?
No, I'm not. So
okay.
I'm just laughing at the fact, guys, it looks like this podcast takes a little effort, and I gotta tell you, I put a lot of effort in this.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
That's why, I am super appreciative of the people over at Patreon. Again, $1 a day keeps the debtors at bay. It does help. It keeps the lights going. You're gonna see in a few weeks things are gonna get crazy. Kyle doesn't even know.
I don't.
And so, we recorded last week's episode twice. Yeah. We recorded our E3 episode twice, and both episodes I couldn't use.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I wasted Kyle's time. I wasted my time.
You didn't waste my time.
I wasted your time, Kyle.
No, you didn't.
And I wasted our friend Jams, which you can find him at Jams Games on YouTube. He does a show called Bargain Bros, where they got sometimes $5, $10, or $15. They got to find a game that's either really bad or really good, and you vote. It's amazing. Go watch it. But yeah, it's just like the podcast gods.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want your episode to succeed, sometimes they don't. So last episode you heard that my mic sounded like shit, and that's because the program was saying I was using the right mic, but I was actually using my MacBook.
Yeah.
Instead. Thank you, Skype. And also we were having connection issues, because I do this podcast off my MacBook Pro, and so I had to go out and buy a USB-C to Ethernet adapter for it, so that now you'll never hear, hopefully, unless something real bad happens, you'll never hear Kyle break, or sound like a robot sometimes, or sound like a robot. Mm-hmm. So last week we couldn't have video, but we could have audio, and that's what just sometimes it happens. Mm-hmm. But because, and I'm not shitting you guys, I would not have the small things like this little Ethernet adapter, and I'm not trying to be a salesman or be sell a pitch. If it wasn't for people on Patreon, this little thing cost me $35 fucking bucks. It's made by Anchor. It's good though. I love Anchor. They're great products. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but it's just the simple things, this little hub, this little Focusrite. Wouldn't have that if it was not for Patreon. This little Mimir head. No, not the Mimir head, but the mic and stuff. It's all super, this podcast happens because of the community.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. So thank you guys. That's what this really means. It's the Patreon
Yeah.
people. Thank you. And I hope for people who just listen, also thank you for listening. Holy shit, like ultimate fan, Robbie Bobby Miller over out there, yeah, thank you for listening because and dealing with when the mic goes to shit. It does it does mean so much because sometimes I make like an episode, I'm like, oh God, people are just gonna leave. This is it. This is one that people find out I'm a fraud, right? Like, and
yeah,
it's just it's that anxiety. So, thank you guys for dealing with last week's episode. I try to make every episode as best as I can make it. Kind of like I got like E3 happening. I got the podcast. I got Bad Bit Games. So it's just like all these areas that I'm trying desperately. One man team.
Yeah.
So,
So because of that,
yes.
We're not sure if the PS Plus stuff, we talked about it.
Yeah.
So for the month of June, you're getting XCOM 2, Trials Fusion. Those are both for PS4. And then for PS3, you're getting Zombie Driver HD, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. And then PS Vita, it still lives, Atomic Ninjas and Squares.
Nice.
Not that any of those 4 games I just listed I'm going to probably download, but the ones for PS4, XCOM 2 and Trials Fusion, are both incredible games, and I'm so excited to jump back into XCOM.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited to jump in. Just to fail horribly at Trials. And fail horribly at XCOM.
Because when it comes to XCOM, one of my favorite things to do is the game's great. I love the strategy of it. I just love creating people that I love, and they're on my squad. No, that's the thing. Like, I hate seeing them die, but I enjoy creating them because it brings an extra element into the game where you're more careful about moving them around the maps.
Yes.
And making sure you're managing when they're staying behind, if it's like a real dangerous mission and they're not leveled up high enough. So I love XCOM, and I'm super excited to dive back in.
Yeah, no, the remake of XCOM, I played, I think, on PC. Yeah, I played it on Steam. It was like always the one thing about XCOM, as much as I love it to death, you miss one fucking thing. You forgot to research one fucking time because you have ADHD and dyslexia, and it just fucking and then everything's fucked in the aliens. When I've never won an XCOM, and I play it on normal. Yeah. And so, but the one thing that, it's like creating characters that you love. Like I had one whose name was Santiago because he looked like Dominic Santiago from Gears. And Luke Lord just peeked up out of his chair. Like, what? Dominic Santiago? Santiago! Anyway. But yeah, like he was my favorite and he died and I got real depressed. Depressed over Santiago. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, just like in Gears 3. This is a PlayStation podcast. So, but I would make one character all the time, and I think his name was like Keith or something like that. And Keith was just the guy who was like, oh, Keith won one.
Yeah.
Keith walked into no man's land and barely ever returned.
Yeah. It was always real sad, like when my character, the one I made of myself, would die, because like I put so much time and effort into it because I was a sniper, and I had some badass camo, blue and orange for the Mets, and I looked dope with like some nice sunglasses, backwards hat, and then I just got capped by these giant fucking aliens, and I was like, oh god, do I have to restart? I can't die like this.
Oh no!
But XCOM, if you don't know, if your characters die in XCOM, they're gone forever.
Oh yeah, they're gone forever.
There's no revive. I mean, you can revive them. It's like stop the bleeding, like D&D type of stuff in the game. But if they die and the mission ends, they're gone.
They're gone, dude. They're dunzos.
It's a hard game, but I love it.
Yeah, it's really challenging. It's like the Dark Souls of RTSs. I hate that phrase. I love it. Pick up both of these games. Dude, holy crap. This month, excellent. Excellent. Last month, meh. This month, fantastic. Go pick up these games.
And you can get them now. They're available now. You can add them to your
Oh my god, library. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to download them while I play Fortnite. Hale Shuya. Can I get a praise to you?
Praise the shoe.
Praise and praise be to you. So, that was it. That's the PlayStation. That was the Trophy Room PlayStation podcast. Guys, gang, hey, listen. I know this episode, bit of a garbage truck on fire. Not a lot of news this week, but we got our E3 episode literally coming out tomorrow, right? Yes. So go take a listen. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Rate us 5 stars on Google Play. Whatever you can rate us a maximum. Tell them why you love us. It helps build this big, beautiful family called the Trophy Room. And holy crap, the many well wishes I get from the Make Us Better community, from the Trophy Room community, from the Bad Bit community is incredible. The Trophy Room is always something that is like, holy shit, we have something special here. This is great. This is wonderful. Yeah. I love it. I love doing it every single week. So please make sure you check out our E3 show. That is where we're going to do something really cool. Remember Judge Kyle Stevenson's courtroom? That's what it's going to be. What we're going to do is we're going to have PlayStation and Xbox. I'm going to be on Team PlayStation, okay? And I'm going to argue why certain games like, for example, Cyberpunk, or games like Hitman are going to be on the PlayStation stage. And Sean Capri over at the Xbox Drive, he told me to say, and he's very explicit about this, that he's going to be there on the Xbox side, and he's going to argue why games like Hitman and games like Cyberpunk 77 are going to be on Xbox's stage. Then he also said, don't wear a seatbelt, don't wear a helmet.
No! Stop! I was waiting for it. I was prepared.
So yeah, you can check that out. And then what we're going to do, and it's really fun, is we're going to take the predictions and twist them on their head. I'm going to predict things for Xbox. Sean's going to predict things for PlayStation. And Kyle, you have free reign to do whatever you want.
Sweet.
And you know what? I know Sean's name's Capri, but pants are optional on this episode. So with all that said, everybody...
No, I never wear pants when I wear stuff.
Oh, dude, never in my life. Yeah, I've been kicked out of so many Wendy's. It's ridiculous.
Why Wendy's?
I don't know, man. They ask the same thing. They go, why couldn't it be Burger King? That's where you take your trash, pantsless attitude. That's where you go. Everybody, follow Kyle. Where can you find you?
Yeah, you can follow me at WhoDatNinja73 on Twitter and on PSN. You can follow my show, All About the Kind of Funny community, at BFS Talk Funny on Twitter and Best Friends Talk Funny on iTunes and Google Play. This month, in honor of Kind of Funny Prom, which is June 30th, all my guests are going to come on and talk about their high school experiences and how was prom for them, if they had a prom. Are they excited for Kind of Funny Prom? And I already recorded with 2 people this week, and they're going to go up as soon as I can get them edited. And yeah, it's going to be a great week. Oh, and PlayStation-wise, if you happen to get a ticket for the E3 experience for Sony, they do that in the theaters. Those tickets went live today, and our good friend Mike was able to get me a ticket. So I will be in Times Square for the Sony conference. I'll be in the theater.
That's awesome.
And I can't wait. So if you see me there, say hi.
So I got some announcements for you. First off, You can find me at Bad Bit Games Bad Bit Games on YouTube. You can find me at Mr. Badbit on Twitter. You can find this podcast on Twitter as well at PS the Trophy Room. So please follow us there. We have all great talks. It's fantastic. And also, I am. Knock on wood, because you know what? They could always say, Joe, you're not coming on. But Wednesday, June 13th. 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe, if my memory is correct. Gotta look at my notepad. But I'll be on the OK Beast panel, and we're going to talk about our impressions of E3. So
that's awesome.
I'm very excited. OK Beast, they're great guys. Blessing's great. Alex Van Aken, let me tell you something. Genius. He's a genius. And I was talking to Sean. I know the show's over. You could go. This is extra credit. This is bonus show. Mm-hmm. I'm upset at Alex because he's so good at what he does, right? OK Beast on YouTube, check it out. You'll see what I'm saying. And then at the same time, he's so good at video games. It's nuts crazy. I saw his Gears of War video, and I was just like, that was me at my prime, but I could still not be anywhere as good as him. Like, me at my prime, he'd still just take a dookie on me. It'd be done. I'm just like, this is crazy. This is not... How are you... hacks? So I think Mr. Van Aken is a hacksaw.
Yeah.
420 or whatever they call it.
That whole crew is amazing,
Yeah.
and also shout out to our boy Moises, who's doing great things. Yeah, so I'm excited for you to be on there. That's gonna be a good show.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation.